Our next event, a time-honored tradition here at 52 Plus Joker, have some of the greatest designers in the world that will fly from around the world to show up and share the latest and greatest. Tonight, we're going to have William Kalush of Expert Playing Card Company introduce all of these wonderful artists to all of you. So please, in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen, Phill Kalush.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to be part of this amazing new style convention. It's always been a great pleasure to be part of the convention wherever it's been around the country. And we have a lot of fun, and because of the circumstances, of course, we're all online, and I think everybody really has to send a lot of love to Lee and his team, because it's amazing that they pulled this off, and it's what they've done is incredible. So what we're at tonight is we're going to introduce a few new decks. It's a little different than years past because it's not in a small room in a hotel, but it's fun nonetheless. So as the guy who works at Expert Playing Card Company, I've been privileged to be involved with the club deck and also to produce a lot of different decks for different people. And we started doing this, I think it was about 6 years ago. And it's been a lot of fun for designers to introduce new decks. So tonight, I think we have 4 decks, including the club deck. The first one, I'd like to reintroduce you to somebody who you've seen speak a couple of times already in the last couple of days, who's a very knowledgeable young man who's done a lot in the playing card world already, even though he's to me, he's quite young, and he knows a lot, and he's got a new deck to tell us about. And with that, Kevin Reyleck, I'd like to introduce you and have you take over and tell us about your new deck.
Hey. Hi everyone, Kevin Reyleck here. You might remember me from yesterday's talk about marked cards, and if you missed it, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. So now I couldn't do a talk about marked cards without presenting a new marked deck, and I'm really excited about what I have to show you today. Earlier this year, when planning for the convention, I knew that I wanted to release a marked deck. And so with the convention happening in October, I thought it would be great to have a Halloween theme. So I got in touch with Phill Smith. He's the creator of the DMC Elites and several other great marked decks. And I had recently worked with Phill on putting together the Delayed Centennial decks. In my opinion, Phill really understands that balance of visibility and camouflage when creating marked cards better than any other designer. So Phill and I kicked some ideas around and decided to go with a concept that gives a nod to the campy, classic creature features from drive-ins and midnight screenings. And the first thing that came to my mind on that theme was the fact that The Creature from the Black Lagoon had been the first ever 3D movie. So we decided to not just make a marked deck, but to make a marked deck in 3D, complete with the red and blue lens glasses, just like you used to get at the theater. So the deck is called Screams at Midnight, and here it is. The box and the card backs have full anaglyph 3D effects. I really wish I could show the 3D effect on video because it looks super cool in person. But what's really notable with the backs, aside from the 3D, is the brand new marking system. This is a reader-style deck, so it doesn't need to be decoded. However, it's been designed in a way that's never been done before, and we call this the occlusion marking system. It works on a really clever optical illusion principle where you can hide the bottom half of a word or phrase, but your brain will still fill things in and let you read the text easily. So the marks are hidden in the borders, and with so much going on with the different creatures and the back design, especially when you're looking at it with your 3D glasses, the marks basically just fade away as part of the frame. But with that said, they're still very easy to read, just with a minimum amount of practice. And so now we've not only marked the deck in the traditional portrait orientation, we've also marked them so that they're readable when the deck is in a landscape orientation. And as far as I'm aware, I was the first person to publish a landscape system like that. I call that the Gambler's Setup. I put it in my 2017 booklet called Mainframe. Mainframe is my reader system for tally-ho circle backs. But using that system for Screams at Midnight not only lets you read the cards no matter if they're turned, 90 degrees or 180 degrees or whichever way. It also lets you read them when the deck is in a spread and you're not able to see the entire back design. The deck was printed by US Playing Card on classic stock with embossed magic finish, and they're traditionally cut. They handle great. We have got a custom Ace of Spades, and this is probably one of my favorite Ace of Spades of all time. When Phill sent me this design, I just got so excited. I think it's so cool. We also have custom jokers, and we have put in a couple of gaffs. We have a double backer and a reveal joker, so overall there are 3 jokers, 2 normal ones plus a reveal, and all of those gaffs are marked as well. The faces are standard designs with a custom color scheme, and we also kept them 2D just to maintain playability and familiarity and to stay within the theme of the deck. Every deck comes with a pair of custom 3D glasses, and you can order everything right now over at penguinmagic.com. The retail price on these is $18, but we're offering a special intro price of only $15. And so for that, you get the marks, you get the 3D, you get the glasses, you get all the original art by Phill Smith. I think it's a heck of a bargain. So thanks very much, and I hope you all enjoy Screams at Midnight.
Screams at midnight. Shuffle into a new dimension of horror with this terrifying deck of cards. From the twisted minds of Phill Smith and Kevin Reylek, these 52 playing cards are haunted by horrific creatures. Monsters so scary, you will want to cover your eyes to witness them in 3D. If you survive the 3rd dimension, you'll learn the secret ritual of the occlusion, a demonic marking system that will allow you to read the minds of your helpless victims. Printed in blood and cursed for unparalleled handling, this deck has been summoned from Hades with undead jokers and a hair-raising Ace of Spades. Beware. Once you unleash these cards from the box, you won't be able to stop the screams at midnight.
That was amazing.
Great presentation, Kevin. Good job. Very cool deck. If people have questions for Kevin, put them in the chat, and we'll try to get to those right now. We're going to do a little Q&A very briefly after each deck.
Sure.
So,
Let me get my
very cool.
3D glasses on.
They're perfect for you.
Yes, Chris, it's the back design and the tuck. We thought about doing 3D for like some of the other faces, but it does kind of, play with the sharpness a little bit to do the 3D effect. So we kept the faces 2D and the 3D is the back and the tuck.
You have a deck in your hands that you can show?
I do. Folks have been asking for the link. There's a product page link on there in the chat. So we can show the deck. So one of the really fun things about this with the 3D is once you have it on and you have your glasses on, the top half will come out at you. It'll be like embossed, and the bottom half will be sunken in or debossed. And you can actually see it switch in real time. When you rotate the deck 180 degrees, there's a certain moment where it passes the horizon and that it flips, which is really cool and fun. The 3D glasses don't fit inside the tuck box. They'll come along with the deck itself. But yeah, if there's any other questions.
So when are those, Kevin, when are those going for sale? Are you putting those on live right now?
Yep, we just launched them. The link is in the chat. People can buy them right this minute. We just launched them. They're in our warehouse. USPC did a great job getting them done in time for tonight. So they're ready to start shipping immediately.
Okay. This is just for people that aren't aware. In years past, we've had sort of a rule that we only release decks that were available for sale at the convention. No decks for future release, but this year we've relaxed that a little bit because it's not a regular convention.
And to answer David Riley, you don't need to see the entire card back. We have the cards marked in 2 locations, so in your typical corners, but also if you turn the deck 90 degrees, it's marked in those corners, so you can read them just from a tight spread rather than needing to see half or more of the card. Mm-hmm.
I think Chris asked, are they available in the UK? Is it true? Any place that Penguin serves, they would be available. Is that right?
Yeah, we ship worldwide at Penguin. Someone else asked if standard shipping rules apply. I know that we have certain rates where if you spend a certain dollar amount, you get free shipping. It's the same as any of our other products on the site. So yeah, if you hit those thresholds, free shipping. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to have these out there to everybody. And big shout out to Nick Lacapo. Nick is one of our studio guys in Ohio at Penguin. He's the one who put that awesome demo together. So big thanks to Nick, because when he sent that to me a week or so ago, I was just like, yeah, so happy. I was so thrilled with how cool that demo is. So thanks to Nick.
It's a great trailer. Good job. So as you know, a lot of you will know, I think, that we at Expert managed to get the license for Jerry's Nugget a year and a half ago, and we've been able to reproduce and make some cool new Jerry's Nugget decks. And we keep thinking about new ways to do it and things to do with that, with those rights, and also try to push the envelope, push the rules of what playing cards can be. And we've been happy to introduce things like, at this convention actually, things like hot foil on card backs and cold foil on card backs and things of that nature. And we've got a new process that I'm going to introduce on a brand new double deck set of Jerry's. These are prototypes that I'm going to show. They're not quite ready. They will be available Black Friday from Conjuring Arts, which is the nonprofit that owns Expert. So let me share my screen. Let's share this. Okay, if everybody can see that, that is the double deck box set. And we've got 2 hot stamp foils on the top of the box. Inside the box, this is similar to any of you that have seen the special pre-release preview decks that we made for the Jerry's Nugget Kickstarter campaign. This is a box that's similar to that. It's held together, it closes by magnets. And what we're introducing with this deck is something that really took us a lot of work and a lot of effort and expense to be able to do, and that is a double foil deck. So what you're seeing here are the 2 tuck cases that you will get 2 decks in this set. The tucks are no ink, just double foil, and they're embossed. You can see the towers are raised a little bit. The Jerry's Nugget on the side is also embossed. And the cards are all foil. There's no ink. So this is 2 hot foils. This is a hot blue foil and a hot red foil on top, and it's registered so that the towers look precisely like the original towers in the original Jerry's. And this was really tricky. We tried to do this. We attempted to do this when we released the original decks back last year for the Kickstarter, the luxury foil edition, but we couldn't do it. So we used cold foil, which is good, but it's not quite as shiny. It's not quite the same product with cold foil. So instead of stopping, we actually added more equipment to the factory, and we now have, we're not quite at the Lautrec level, but we're able to now in production do 2 very precisely registered hot foils on the backs of cards. So we're experimenting with 3, but that may be a surprise for next year. Who knows if we can do it, but we can do 2. So this is our new Jerry's sets. We're going to make only 500 of these sets. I don't know the price yet. Because I'm sharing my screen, I can't see the chat. So I'm going to stop sharing and then take questions if anybody has any questions. But this is our new double foil process, and we're very pleased with the outcome. So any questions? Estimated release is going to be Black Friday, pricing is not totally established. They're not going to be insane. At least I don't think so. We're only going to do 500 numbered sets because this is just to really introduce this new technology to the market. So they won't be hugely expensive, but they'll be a double deck set, and they'll priced accordingly for the foil and the fact that they're 2 decks and they're limited to 500 sets, of which all won't be for sale. So that will be Black Friday of this year. Okay, so Alana has, yes, the blue foil does overprint the red. In this case, it's the red that's overprinting the blue. So we had to do that so that we didn't have a registration problem. So we actually printed the lettering a little big underneath that. In fact, if I'd have thought of it, I'd have put a picture of that. Yes, there's the blue is quite flat, and then we put the red on top of it. Somebody asked how we got such good registration. Well, first off, the foiling registration is excellent because we actually put in brand new, really expensive foiling machines so that we could do this, and we can also get the foiling to just be really solid. And one of the tricks with this kind of double foiling, it was really, really difficult, is that when you do a solid foil like that, it's easy for little bits to drop out. It's hard for all that foil to stick. So we worked on it. We changed the temperatures. We changed the pressures until we could get the foils to stick solid like that, which is quite tricky. How do they handle? So Chris asked, how do they handle? Well, they handle extremely well. Of course, they're traditionally cut. These are on the same stock as the Jerry's Nuggets, the vintage Phill, which is a crushed French stock that's no longer being manufactured, but we have some inventory of. So they will feel very much like the original Jerry's, even though the backs have no ink. The faces will be standard Jerry's faces. Do they scratch? They may scratch a little bit with a lot of use, but the foil won't come off. It might show some wear after you've used them for a while. I think they are game safe. Somebody else is asking if they're game safe. Yes, but probably this set is not what you'll want to go play poker with, just because they'll cost a little more than a poker deck, and they'll also be quite collectible, we think. They'll be available from Conjuring Arts, conjuringarts.org on Black Friday. And I think, thank you everybody. Somebody asked if we're considering other colors in the future. Yes, we will. If this all works out beautifully as we really hope and pray, then we probably will consider other colors in the future, and maybe one that's not limited. We'll just have to see how that goes. So with that, now I'd like to move along and introduce you to our next deck designer who's got a new deck to show. And he's for the regulars that come to the convention, and the people that have watched this event for years will know very well. He's been a mainstay for years at the convention and introducing not only fabulous decks, but whole systems of decks. And we don't know what he's got for us tonight, but I know it'll be exciting. And I'd like to introduce Alex Chin.
The deck I'm about to present is not the originally intended deck for this year. When 2020 happened, life changed as if Pandora's box itself was opened. As an artist, this project was a way for me to translate my anxiety and futility about our situation into something more productive. This year's National Playing Card Collection Day deck is a response to 2020, acting as an allegory for our world. A lost, forgotten object, buried away by time. Here it is. In your hands, you feel the raised gold engravings across your fingertips. And at its face, you find 4 separate locks and foreign texts urging you not to open the box. Do you heed the warning? Do you proceed? The box opens, unraveling itself into something more. And in front of you, an ancient temple rises, revealing a golden frieze. Carved into the walls are Greek sculptures depicting the stories of their time. Through the gates, you discover beautiful, shimmering tiles covered in gold, silver, majestic blues, and earthy bronzes. As you explore, you uncover older fresco paintings that line the walls of the temple, trapped in a frame of gold, painfully forgotten by time. Some look tragic, holding their consequences for all of eternity. But others look more stoic, standing in the face of their adversity. Working together with award-winning artist Christina Carroll, I sought to create imagery authentic to what one could imagine discovering in a lost archaeological temple. Each of these paintings feature a different character from ancient Greek mythology. Each court holds within it a story that shows in their faces and their bodies a lesson learned. The woman being painted is the daughter of Pandora and Epimetheus. A heartbreaking tale of a life lost in the flood that wipes out all of humanity. Her name? Menemalia. And when translated, it means regret what has occurred. This is a deck about the choices we make and the consequences that follow. The theme of this year's National Playing Card Collection Day deck is Hindsight, because hindsight is 20/20.
Hello.
Wow, that's amazing, Alex. Absolutely incredible. It's congratulations. It's so. Tell us more about it. Tell us it's 5 decks, but there's a special 6th deck. Tell us more details.
Yeah, basically it's 5 decks for the 5th anniversary. Each deck sort of is represented in that it contains a different spirit that was released in that sort of it becomes Pandora's box, right? And the 6th deck is sort of my workaround because it's like a digital convention. Usually I have something for the convention, but this year, if you buy it, you buy the full set. There's a 6th deck edition, and it's only available in the first 48 hours. And so whatever sells, and It's going to be just made to order. So whatever gets ordered will be how many Hope decks there are. And Phill will be printing them. So it'll be good. But yeah, no, this was, it was interesting because I sort of struggled with the presentation a little bit because at its core, this box is Pandora's box, but then I wanted to also be the setting. And so I had to sort of work with the constraints in how to present it. So essentially what happens is all the sides that you can see while closed are what are representing box textures. And when open, that's all of what I guess your setting would be. So these are all different panels and sort of it becomes a temple rather than a box. So we're starting to work with a few different themes, but I think it works. But yeah, so it's there's a lot of secrets here that you can discover and all that jazz. But yeah, I was pretty happy with it. The colors themselves may change. This was a really tight turnaround in terms of proofs. I literally ordered them and got them Tuesday night, and I just stayed up all night to make this video in time. But yeah, I hope you guys like it.
Incredible, Alex. Absolutely incredible. Go ahead, we're going to unmute you. There we go. There.
But Alex, that's absolutely incredible. That's amazing. So tell us how we can order these. Where do we go? I think I think that's maybe been posted, but let's say it again. It's National Card Collection Day. Is that right? .com?
Yeah. So cardcollectionday.com, nationalcardcollectionday.com. I'll reroute to the same site that you normally do when buying the National Playing Card Collection Day deck. It's not available right now. Basically, if you're not signed up yet, you can just pop your email into the sign up list. And basically, it's a little late for US customers. And it's actually like someone in Australia was like, yeah, this is great. Basically, I decided like once the convention's over Saturday, because that's actual National Playing Card Collection Day, the site will just go live and you'll be able to buy stuff at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I feel like it works out.
Excellent. So what do we have for questions? I think people must have questions. Oh, the colors. Okay. Steve Bowling's asking, how are the 6 decks different? Are the backs different? Or is it colors and quartz? And I know another person, I'm sorry, I don't know who asked if it's metallic ink or foil.
Yeah, so it's every single deck. Usually I have standard decks and like deluxe decks. Every single deck is foiled front and back. The way the colors are going to be distributed that sort of change is there's going to be 2 non-gilded decks for, and those are going to be standard. They're still all foiled, but those will be the ones where like if you're breaking it out for poker, that's the kind of deck. The rest of them are going to be gilded. And if you want to really think about it, there's 4 different print runs that go into this. So there's the Hope deck, there's the Descent deck, and then there's the 2 base decks, which will be gilded and non-gilded. The color is sort of in contention right now, mostly because there's so many pieces that are going into this that in order to make sure it looks good. So like, say we have like our court cards. One of them I want to have a white fresco texture, while others black. One of them will be a turquoise / seafoam green texture that also mixes together. And then you want to mix that with the box, right? So seafoam green cards, and then you have your back design. How does that complement the box? And so we have to like look at the stock color. But also, this is the first time I've ever done a 2-plater, and technically this is a 3-plate engraving job. So this is a really big piece. It's super inefficient for printing, actually. But essentially what it is there's a really long plate and then a really long plate, but it goes one way with the grain and one way across the grain. So you sort of have to like work with that. But the point is that technically that's 2 plates. And then there's the sticker, which is a 3rd plate. But what that sort of opens up for people that like aren't thinking about the printing is it technically allows for different ink color. So I'm sort of playing around with this idea of like maybe these decks will be like, it'll have gold on the outside, but then you like go boom, and then it's silver on the inside. I'm not sure how that'll look mixing the colors, but it's an idea and it's possible to have that. And so that's sort of where I'm just sort of haven't solidified the colors yet, but otherwise the artwork obviously is done. And it's more just the finishing touches right now. And then I don't know if you guys noticed it, but for you guys that know your packages, I added this little flap. So basically, once you open the deck, like it's opened, right? Like it's there's no ceiling, but you can actually change and flip the flaps for what you want to display. And so when you pop it into a carrot case, you can actually go from horizontal display to or vertical display, or horizontal display to vertical display based on what kind of collection setup you want to do. So essentially, this box can look 3 different ways based on how you want to pick it. So,
Well, the decks, they should fit in a standard carrot case then.
yes, yeah,
Okay. And you do you ship worldwide?
yes, yeah.
Okay, excellent. And they go on sale or actually pre-order because they're going to be made to order at 9 p.m. Which time zone tomorrow?
Yeah, just basically right after the convention, 9 p.m. Eastern, I believe.
I'm sorry, not tomorrow. Saturday, right? 9
Yes,
p.m.
October
9
17th.
p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
Yes. I hear people in Australia are very excited for this time zone.
They're asking about the pricing. Are you prepared to share the pricing at this time?
Yeah. So it's actually cheaper than last year, despite it being more expensive. But the expense is more about the rush for the turnaround on a lot of these things. But it's $235 for the 6 deck set, and that's only available in the first 48 hours, and that's including the 24-hour discount. After that, it goes to $275, and then it's gone after the 48 hours. Individual decks are $35 for the standard, and then $48 for the gilded.
So once these, and how long will they be for sale? When are you going to close off the opportunity to buy these?
So usually it's just like a few days until they sell out. The really, everyone's like super nervous about missing something. It's like, as long as you make an active effort to order first day, you should be able to get like the full set. It's just if you want the discount. So there's that 24-hour discount that drops it by a good $30, $40.
Right.
So.
And John B is asking, when do you expect the completion of these decks after approving? Well, it's a good question, right? So
yes. These decks are honestly probably gonna be in. I'll let Bill answer that, because the boxes are I can pump those out. And finishing shouldn't be a problem. The color choices, honestly, I can probably finish it before the convention ends. So I don't know, based on how fast Bill feels comfortable with, especially given holiday timing and all that. But
yeah, it's hard to say till we have everything set in motion, but it's not going to take a long time. It's not going to take months and months. So we should be able to turn those around pretty quickly, especially if we use hot foil.
yeah, I'm glad you guys like it. It's
Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't know. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. That's really incredible, Alex. Thank you so much. Every year, you never cease to amaze us. You always come up with an amazing project, an amazing theme, and this year's no exception. We thank you for sharing that with us. It's one of the things that we come to look forward to at this convention, to see what crazy thing you dream up. So thank you for sharing that with us.
you're welcome.